Hello and very warm welcome to Quews TV channel. I am Dr. Suhail Qureshi and I am presenting Sharp Edge. In this program, we are going to ask very pithing and direct questions to the politicians, celebrities, people who matter in the world politics, and bring the truth out of the closed corridors that many governments don't want to reveal. We are going to be direct, we're going to be accurate, we're going to be fair, and we will be fair in all aspects of our journalism. We believe this is the only way that the countries, governments, societies will prosper if we bring the free opinion, uncensored, and in the right frame of the true ethics of humanity and egalitarian values. Please join with me today. I'm going to bring a very worthy guest, the spokesperson of Pakistan Foreign Ministry, Mrs. Mumtaz Zahra Baloch, who will be joining with me today. India in August 2019, in a historic and unprecedented, what some people call draconian move, repealed and revoked Article 370 of Indian Constitution that gave autonomy to the Indian-held Jammu and Kashmir state, which had granted autonomy to the Kashmiri people. The entire world, especially the opposition parties in India, they were outraged and they called it the darkest day of Indian democracy. It has been over 3 years since the repealing and revoking of Article 370 that followed atrocities and oppression on the people of Kashmir by the Indian government and a paramilitary, and thousands of people were jailed, many killed, and hundreds of people, they were injured by the brutalities of the Indian police and army. The next door neighbor, Pakistan, who has a claim on this part of Jammu and Kashmir since 1947, had been an active part in this region for quite some time and has been causing quite a bit of uproar at the international level against this Section 370 repealing. We want to ask the Pakistani government today, what have they done so far to bring the normalcy in the region so that the two nuclear armed countries that do not go on to a war path, and also the atrocities against the Kashmiri people, they subside. We are going to ask these straight questions from Mrs. Mumtaz, the spokesperson of Pakistan Foreign Ministry. Please join with me. Mrs. Mumtaz Zahra Baloch, thank you very much for joining us. We are grateful for your time, and it's so heartening to see Pakistani women being empowered and becoming the spokesperson in the position of authority. I believe the empowerment of Pakistani women is going to bring peace, harmony, and democracy in Pakistan. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
I have a few questions for you. As you know, we are the first overseas TV channel, Quews.news, and we have requested you for a few of very important questions that we have as overseas Pakistanis, and especially from our Kashmiri Pakistani brethren in the UK and all over the world. As you know, the repealing of Article 370 in August 2019 by the Indian government, there have been increase in atrocity and oppression on Kashmiri people, which has been noticed by the world all over, and especially by the Pakistani nation in Pakistan as well as the diaspora. We are concerned that not much has happened, and I was wondering what is the current status of Pakistan's legal stance on it?
Thank you very much, and you're absolutely right. The people of Jammu and Kashmir have been suffering for the last 70 years and above. And since 2019, their situation has worsened since the Indian occupation forces decided to annex the occupied territory. And they are suppressing the people of Kashmir and following a concerted campaign to basically change the demographic structure of Kashmir, so that the people of Kashmir in the occupied territories become a minority in their own land. And in doing so, they have brought non-Kashmiris and settled them in IIOJK, and given domiciles to the government officials and military officials who are stationed in Indian-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. So basically, it is a very difficult situation for the people of Indian-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. At the same time, what they are doing is they are suppressing the voice of Kashmiri people by incarcerating their leadership and by putting curbs on the media and on human rights defenders. So Pakistan has always stood with their Kashmiri brothers and sisters, and we will continue to do so until they have achieved their cherished dream of independence and liberty. And in that context, Pakistan has been raising its voice in favor of our Kashmiri brothers and sisters, and we will continue to do so at every international forum, whether it is the United Nations, the OIC, or it is during our bilateral engagements with leaders and diplomats around the world.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your answer and in such detail. The overseas Pakistani, especially the millions of Kashmiris who migrated from the either side of line of control in Kashmir, and they are a nation without a country or a state for well over 7-8 decades now. They wonder what had been done by the Pakistani government, one of the biggest stakeholder in this conflict of Kashmir and the arch rival, the two nuclear war potentials in the next century, as has been portrayed by the international media. So the question is this, that why Pakistan has not gone to the International Court of Justice, or why not much has happened in the real sense? Thank you.
That is, the real truth is that Pakistan has always stood by its Kashmiri brothers and sisters. Of course, the Kashmiri diaspora is the most vocal supporter of our friends and brothers and sisters in the occupied territories. And Pakistan stands with them shoulder to shoulder, and we have always taken this cause at the international forums, including the United Nations, at the OIC, and as I said earlier, in all our engagements with the rest of the world. And we will continue to do so, including at important international forums when the time is right, when we think that the voice of Pakistan will contribute to the support and to the people of Kashmir's struggle.
Thank you. We are aware that the formal dialogue between Pakistan and India, they have ceased for quite some time. And we were wondering, is there any track 2 type of discussions or conversations going on behind the scene? Because this is a very strategic area of the world, and the population of well over 1.5 billion is hostage to this Kashmir issue between Pakistan and India.
Mm-hmm. At this state, there is no back channel between Pakistan and, hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. At this state, there is no back channel or dialogue taking place between Pakistan and India. As you know, there is a right-wing, ultra-nationalist, Hindu fundamentalist government in charge in New Delhi. And it has created a situation where it is very difficult to engage in dialogue with them. And India is a country which is basically not interested in dialogue. And Pakistan has said time and again that we would be ready for dialogue whenever the conditions are right, and the Indian government has to take certain steps to create the conditions conducive for dialogue. At this stage, there is no such conditions, and it is not possible to have a constructive dialogue with India.
Thank you. It appears that Pakistan and India, they are in a cul-de-sac. They have reached a catch-22 situation, and none of the governments want to come up and start a dialogue, which is very, very essential. We have seen the overseas Pakistanis and overseas Indians, they get on reasonably well globally. Do you think that there can be a dialogue movement that can be started by the overseas Indians and overseas Pakistanis? And do you think the Pakistani government or perhaps Indian government would welcome such a move to really to carry on this dialogue in a more constructive fashion?
In the end, it is the responsibility of the Indian government to take steps for a conducive environment for dialogue with Pakistan. It is their responsibility, and they should take measures for conducive for peace and dialogue with Pakistan and for the rest of the region.
Well, thank you, thank you. That's very heartening to know that you have a very clear strategy there. But would you be ready? The Pakistani government will be ready if there's any initiative by any international mutually friendly parties to start a dialogue between the two countries?
This has been Pakistan's position for several decades. We have always welcomed international players, mutual friends, to create conditions, to help create conditions for a conducive dialogue between Pakistan and India. As we continue to say, the ball is in the Indian court, and they have to take steps for dialogue.
Thank you. Thank you very much for such a candid reply. And that is pretty much the end of our interview with you. And we again thank you very, very much for your precious time. And I know you're very busy.
Thank you.
At the end, I will just request you, if you want to give a message on behalf of the Pakistani government to overseas Pakistanis, especially the Kashmiri Pakistani brethren, a message of hope that how we could deal with this difficult situation.
Thank you so much. My message to our Kashmiri brothers and sisters is that the government and the people of Pakistan across the entire spectrum of our society stand with them. We feel their pain, and we will continue to raise our voice for their freedom, for their rights, and this support for Pakistan is abiding, and we will continue to speak at international forums for our Kashmiri brothers and sisters.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Mumtaz. It is a message of hope, and I'm sure our overseas Pakistanis and Kashmiris within Pakistan will be happy to see that the Pakistani government is trying its level best. Now we are extending the arm of cooperation, peace and harmony to the Indians, and very soon I hope that there will be a response, a positive response to sort this thing out and once and for all. So thank you very much once again, and goodbye.
Thank you.
So you just heard the candid response from Mrs. Mumtaz, the spokesperson of Pakistani Foreign Ministry, and we take it as a message of hope that there will be a change in the relationship between Pakistan and India on the issue of Kashmir, and that will bring peace, prosperity, and progress to this region. And with that, I say thank you very much for watching this program, and very soon I'll be bringing you another very important topic of the geopolitical in the Southeast Asia region. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.